Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United versus Liverpool preview. Lots to discuss. We've got Mourinho's press conference updates. We've got predicted 11. We've got score predictions. We've got everything the press are saying. But ultimately, this is the United Stand. It's a Manchester United focus. And it's a massive, massive game for Manchester United. There's a huge injury, bro. There's a huge injury blow I need to discuss with you straight away. It appears that Anthony Martial will miss this game for Manchester United. I think moods and confidence is going up and down like a roller coaster amongst the United community at the moment. I think I've been very, very confident, as my Twitter timeline will suggest, but suddenly I'm a little bit concerned. Martial appears to be out. I've got a funny feeling he might not be out, but Mourinho was asked who's back from injury, and he said only one player's back. That's Fellaini, nobody else. Well, Martial was injured on Monday night. The Manchester United official Twitter account said Martial was injured on Monday night. So when Mourinho's asked a straight question, who's back from injury, and he only says one player, Fellaini, that suggests Martial is out. But I just got a funny. Maybe I'm very naive. Maybe I'm hoping against hope that he will be back, but I'm not too sure. But Fellaini back, which we'll discuss in a minute. But we're going to chuck some good tweets in that we've seen over the morning because we need to bring this light mood down because there's a lot of steam coming out of Liverpool at the moment. You get steam off a certain sort of evacuation, but so it makes sense. But this is a good one. Sex is good and everything, but have you ever watched a Salah and Firmino link up? Ooh, heart. Just imagine how bad the sex that girl's had in her life if she thinks Firmino and Salah link-ups are better than sex. She needs to get on YouPorn. But Fellaini's back. Fellaini is back. Michael Collins says Fellaini always plays well against Liverpool. I'm going to throw that out straight away. In fact, I'm going to put a poll up in a minute so people can come back and cast their vote. The big question, I suppose, straight away with Fellaini being back is, would you play him against Liverpool? Matic and Pogba are obviously going to play, unless we play a midfield 2. If we play a midfield 3, who would you go with, McTominay or Fellaini? I'll leave that to you lot to start discussing, because it's an interesting one for sure as to how Mourinho will go about it, because I really just don't know. But time for another tweet. This is another good one, another Liverpool one. Will Mourinho again deploy his famous 6-4-0 formation in a game he cannot afford to lose? The delusion is real at the moment. The pontification is at extreme levels with the Liverpool fans at the moment. For some reason, they are very deluded people. I think what happens is they live in a cave where they just chant in that cave, that dark cave, 5 times. And that's all they never see any daylight. And all they can hear is 5 times, 5 times, 5 times. And then they come out into the light because they get a little bit of publicity because United are playing them. And they're like, oh, what? Oh, I'm delusional. Oh, my God. Oh, man, we're the best. We're the best. 5 times we're the best. And they start coming out with nonsense like this. Will Mourinho play 6-4-0 in a game he cannot afford to lose? Since when can Manchester United not afford to lose this game? Obviously, rivalry is really important, which we're coming on to in a minute. Mourinho may not have appeased himself to United fans with some of his comments in his press conference about this rivalry. But on this 6-4-0, I've just got to say, look, the media fall into the same trap as Liverpool fans as well. It's this gung-ho, idiotic opinion that, oh, Liverpool are coming to town, let's go gung-ho, let's just chuck everything at them. Right, you know what? You know, in the olden days, 1066 and all that jazz, when somebody attacks your castle and you've got a really good fortress and someone attacks your castle and they bring their best archers and everything like that and their best ninja warriors, well, let's imagine that Salah and Firmino and Mane are their best ninja warriors and they're outside our fortress Old Trafford kicking the door in. Come and have a fight, come and have a fight. Do you think United should just send out their best ninja warriors as well and go toe-to-toe with them? Or do you think we should use the fortress as a protection and just say, see if you can break that fortress down? You're apparently got the killer ninjas. Come on, let's see what you can do. And then when they're tired, just send our ninjas out and kick their ass. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that mentality to have it. This park the bus Mourinho thing is so childish. I actually find it funny that Liverpool fans keep tweeting about it, because it's just, you make yourself look even more idiotic than you are. What? No team. Park the bus tactics in a very simple sentence. A park the bus tactic is this. Park the bus is when you've got something that you want to protect and you don't want to do anything other than get 10 men behind the ball in your own half, but not even in your own halve it again. You basically put three banks, goalkeeper, defensive and midfield. You don't have an attack. Two banks basically round the penalty box, and you just sit there for 90 minutes and you don't adventure forward, you just park the bus. United don't do that, and we won't do that tomorrow. We won't do that tomorrow. But another thing as well, this gung-ho attitude, it is an idiotic attitude. It's like, it's like, I could liken it to so many things, but the reality is, football is a game of 90 minutes. You win that game 1-0, the history books say 1-0. There is no 1-0 dash, Liverpool went for it. There's no moral points, there's just 3 points. And let's see where we are tomorrow. Let's see where we are tomorrow. Although, to be honest with you, I'm starting to get a little bit... I've got to be honest. I am starting to get a little bit nervous about this game. I'm worried. I'm worried that Martial's out injured. I'm worried that Fellaini is back. Let's have a look what some people in the comments are saying. I've been watching too much Game of Thrones, says Frederick. We've just parked the bus once at home, and that was against Man City, says Tabish Tarek. And we didn't park the bus at home in that game. We didn't park the bus. We just tried to play long ball. There's a very, very... I'm not saying the football was great, but we didn't park the bus. We don't park the bus very often. I have a bad feeling about this game, says Ahmed. The whole situation is starting to sink. And Andrew Kays, we certainly aren't a proper attacking team either, unless you haven't been watching since before the holidays. I would like to see Moussa Dembele at Manchester United as upside down table. I don't think he will play tomorrow. And why don't the press talk about Martial's injury, says Anthony Martial. It's one of my pet hates, the press conferences at Manchester United, week in, week out. I mean, unfortunately, if you're not UK based, I mean, I can bring this in here. This tweet is brilliant. It's superb. It epitomises the British press. Because if you're one of the many global fans that we've got who don't understand how the British press work, that tweet in a sentence pretty much sums up the quality of the British press. This is from the Daily Star. Manchester United star Paul Pogba could be replaced by Scott McTominay for the Liverpool game. Yeah. We're going to drop Paul Pogba for Scott McTominay. Yeah. We've got no midfielders, but we're going to drop Pogba for McTominay. Yeah. Mourinho's definitely going to do that. And that's what we're up against. And that's why, look, wherever you rank Martial, I think he's been one of our players of the year, but he's certainly in the top 5. I don't think anyone could argue with that. It's appalling that week on week, nobody has asked a question about Anthony Martial's form, why it's dropped off in the last 6 weeks. But it's appalling today that nobody's actually asked if Martial's injured, considering the history he has against Liverpool at Old Trafford as well. I'll tell you what, Liverpool fans will be rejoicing. They will be rejoicing that he is not playing, because he's a very, very important player. Anyway, Man United will win because Jose Mourinho knows how to get the best against Liverpool, says Akip. I like the confidence. I can't wait for the watch along tomorrow. I'm going to go and have a few drinks tonight. We'll do the 8 o'clock show and we're rubbing our hands. But I am starting to get nervous. I don't want to convey that to you, but I am starting to get a little bit nervous. Let's have another laugh. We need to bring the mood down. Up. Here we go. Here's another one from Gerard's Love. You know where this is going. Mo Salah is what Manchester United thought Lukaku would be. No, he's not. Mo Salah is very different to Lukaku. Lukaku is an all-action striker. Mo Salah is a number 9 former winger. They're very different players. Effectively, one's a number 10 stroke winger and one is a traditional number 9. So sit down. But I tell you what, I can flip that round for you. Very, very, very simply. Instead of Mo Salah, Manchester United and Lukaku, let's change those words. The 80s is what Liverpool thought the last 30 years were going to be. They won trophies in the 80s. I think that works really well. Trump is right about a lot of things, including supporting Manchester United, says Andrew Southwark. Whoa, I don't know what we're going on about there. And Lynn Hall, the press are clueless to United. Martial is one of our best players. The press should be asking about him. I'm going to have my predicted 11 in a minute. Very, very, very soon. But I'm enjoying the tweets. They're making me feel good. This is how desperate Liverpool fans... I'm going to get up here. This is how desperate Liverpool fans are getting now. Completed tackles in 2000 and 2018. Pogba 18, Fernandinho 27, Granit Xhaka 34, Matic 35, Bobby Firmino 36. Not only can he score no-look goals that aren't no-look goals because he looks at the goal, then looks away and passes it in, but he also tackles a lot as well. Oh, sit down. Oh, you know what? I'm going home. Forget it. I'm off. Come on. See you later. I don't need it. We've lost. We've already lost tomorrow. God, if Firmino's winning the tackling stats, what chance have we got? If their number forward makes loads of if their forward's making loads of tackles, we're finished. Oh my God. Seriously though, Liverpool fans throwing out tackle stats now. I can't even get my words out. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Please don't start Fellaini, says Hey Ken Music. I'm going to give you my opinion on that in a moment. But for me, this is the best comment I'd seen on Twitter all morning when I was having a look for some stuff to share with you. Oki Uchi says, my verdict, if you want style and entertainment, Klopp is your man. But the game is about trophies and Mourinho delivers them, whatever it takes. And the history books will always tell you a football score and who won a trophy. They won't tell you about moral victories and who entertained. It's about trophies, and that is what it's about. And I understand that Manchester United fans want us to play good football, and that is the dream. But the reality is, be a very brave person to say, I'd rather we just played entertaining football every week. But, you know, a Liverpool fan's going to really make themselves even more bigger idiots by saying, you know what, I'd rather play how we did than win the Europa League and League Cup last year. Come on, let's get with it. I mean, the perfect example of this is look, Klopp's entertaining, Mourinho delivers results. It's like going out on a night out, right? Maybe, you know, you live in Coventry. Your mate says, I'm going to drive you down to London for the night of your life. I'm not going to drink, but it'll be a good night, and then I'll drive you back. You're not going to have to spend anything, right? One of the mates is Klopp. One of them is Mourinho. You go out with Klopp. The first hour, he's knocking the drinks back with you, but you're having a great time. It's really entertaining. Unfortunately, an hour before the night, he's pissed up. He can't drive, and he's got himself locked up for being too flamboyant, right? Mourinho takes you out. It's a very cultured evening. It's very good conversation. He doesn't touch a drop. You have a really good night, and he drives you home. Result. That's the difference. Don't go out with the person who is really entertaining. He's a great laugh, but he messes it up at the end of the night. Go out with Mourinho, because he will deliver. That's as simple as it gets. And that tweet I really, really got. Okay, so we've had a couple of contributions here from Danny Dobson. The best show so far, pure banter. Look, you know, we do it differently on the United Stand. I know there's other channels out there, and I know they try to be pundits and make it all very, very serious. I'm not talking about United channels either. I'm talking about the general lot. United Stand's different. The United Stand's your channel, and we do have banter, and life should be banter. I don't like abuse. I don't like bullying. But I do like banter, and I like a community. And if you have got Liverpool fans in here and you are calling people horrible names, grow up. Football's about, you know, breaking down barriers. Let's have a laugh with it. Thanks for the contribution, Danny Thompson. Right, we'll carry on with that. I do want to talk about Fellaini. I want to talk about Mourinho's comment, but let's move to this. This is my predicted lineup for the Manchester United versus Liverpool game. I've gone a bit like I've got liver problems. I'm a bit yellow with this camp. I don't know why. The lighting on this one's not as good. But please do share the video. Please do smash the like button if you're enjoying the show. We've got plenty left. We've got plenty left this Friday afternoon. Massive game coming up. This is going to probably give you nightmares, this team. I apologise. I really do. But this is... Remember I got 10 out of 11 for the Crystal Palace game and everyone went, Mark, you're brilliant. How did you do that? It was so hard to predict what his starting 11 was going to be. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with this as the starting 11. I don't agree with that position. I'm worried about that position. Yeah, so there's three that I'm worried about there. But this is the team I'm going to go with. I mean, reality is, Martial's not fit, Marco. We've got to go with it. Marco, I'm sorry if you've missed the start. Mourinho has more or less said that Martial's not fit. The only player back fit is Fellaini. Now, the question is, do you put Fellaini where McTominay is? I throw it to you. I can't lie. I've been saying for the last few weeks, look, McTominay is a grower. He may never make it, but I still would play him over Fellaini. I would do. Would Mourinho pick McTominay over Fellaini? I don't know. It depends on his fitness. That position could be Fellaini. It could be Fellaini, and maybe you'd prefer Fellaini. You know what? I'm not even going to throw Fellaini under the bus here. If he plays tomorrow and he puts his foot in and he's fully fit, there's not a world of difference between him and McTominay at the moment. I hope in 3 or 4 years' time, McTominay will be way better than Fellaini ever was, and that potential is there. But as of now, his performance in the Crystal Palace game was not good. His performance in the first half against Chelsea was not good. But I would still pick him over Fellaini because he knows how to pass forward, which is going to be very important for our attackers. And he's a little bit quicker. Now, Fellaini comes in with a lot more experience, but he can't pass forward. And we already know, time and time again, how many times do we say that this doesn't get to here quick enough? We don't get the ball to them quick enough to cause a problem. And at least McTominay can do that. As we saw in the Chelsea game, lovely ball into there to Lukaku, to Lingard, and he didn't miss. He scored. So... De Gea in goal will be in goal. Valencia will be right back. He's not playing well at the moment, but you can't move Valencia because if you think about anybody else other than Valencia playing at right back, they've got pace with Mane and Salah and Firmino. However they move, they will interchange, but they're all quick. Smalling and Lindelof, I would play Bailly. Mourinho said in the press conference that Bailly is fit and has been fit for 2 weeks. Why is he not playing? Ashley Young shouldn't play. Samuel A says, I get nightmares when I see Young at left back. He's been very poor at left back. But I think Mourinho in a big game, he is not. I cannot see him playing Luke Shaw. I can't. I want him to. Remember, this is what I think Mourinho will play. Not what I would do. I think he'll play Ashley Young. Obviously, Matic and Pogba are going to play. Now, he could go 4-2-3-1, but I think he won't. I think he'll be worried, and he'll go 4-3-3. McTominay or Fellaini. I'm hoping it's going to be McTominay. We know Sanchez is going to play there. I hate it. These two are getting each other's way. They're getting into the same space. There was a good article in the BBC today from Danny Murphy, who sometimes talks sense. Maybe he's watched the United stand because we've all been going on about this for weeks. But he was talking about the same thing. Pogba is struggling because he can't adapt that Sanchez is always coming inside to his space, as we talked about last night. But I still think he'll play Sanchez on the left, Lukaku up front, Lingard. That's how I think we'll do it. But I must just say, this is how I would do it. McTominay comes out, Matic, Pogba, Lingard, Sanchez. And it was going to be Martial. It was going to be Martial for me. Like that. And all I would have done... well, actually, you know what? Let's just do it how I would have done it. There's no need to mess about, is there? You're out. You're in. You're out. You're in. It's a bit harsh on Lindelof, but you've got to be cruel to be kind. And I would do this, right? And what I would do is I would go 4-2-3-1. And I know everyone hates it, but you know what I'd say to this guy? I'd say, you better not come into this area at all unless we're on the attack. When we haven't got the ball, you fall into a 3 like that and you hassle the crap out of Liverpool's midfield 3. I know you're very lightweight, but you're from Manchester. You've come through the youth setup. You know how important this game is. I'm trusting you with one of the biggest jobs of your career, Jesse, and this will make or break you. I want you to basically drop into a midfield 3 with your pace and just be tenacious and get your foot in on every single Liverpool midfielder. And then when we break quick. And then you've got them 3. That's what I would do. So people saying we can't do a 4-2-3-1, effectively it's a 4-3-3 and you get Lingard to get into that midfield 3 and cause a problem. Obviously Bailly comes in, Luke Shaw. That's how I would go. I don't think Mourinho's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. Massive game. Massive game. Cannot overestimate this game at all. John Sherrill says, Bailly gives me confidence. Do you think Bailly is ready from injury? He's been training for 2 weeks. I'm sure he is. Remember, Fellaini's back tomorrow. You know, Bailly's been training. Bailly's been on the bench for 2 weeks. I bet Fellaini comes straight into the team tomorrow. So, you know, where are the levels about who can play and who can't play? Matthew McFadden says this game is David De Gea's biggest test as United keeper so far. Liverpool's attack is devastating. I do sense a little bit of fear. I do sense a little bit of fear in there. Lingard can't pass VK Dean, but he can pass better than Fellaini, and he's quicker. So I think that might be useful. Anyway, I want to talk about Jose Mourinho's comments. We've been building up to this for a few minutes now. So Mourinho was asked about the Liverpool game and whether it's, you know, massive rivalry, how does it make him feel? And I don't want to be misquoted on this. So he said, basically, in a shorter sentence, he said every match is the same and rivalry isn't something he sees as special. And I think I only had a brief look at social media, but people weren't happy with that. They were like, you know, we're missing a trick here. He was asked about the crowd again and, you know, how impactful can they be? And he says they can make a difference like they did on Monday night. But I don't know. Mourinho, he's an odd one. It's the Jose Mourinho show. When we got him, I always said that Mourinho is obviously he's an icon. He's an enigma. Everything about him is about Jose Mourinho, and he takes things on his own shoulders to try and play a situation. But I'm very vocal, like many of you are. I actually can't see where the benefit is of saying we're not, you know, this isn't a big get. This is just a normal game. He said, you know, we've got Liverpool today, Sevilla on Tuesday, Brighton next Saturday. He said, actually, Sevilla and Brighton, we lose those, we're out of the tournament. we lose against Liverpool, and we're still well in the top 4, and we can still finish second if we want to. There are other games, so he really played down this rivalry. Some people are interpreting that he's already expecting a bad result. It's quite a defeatist attitude. Would Sir Alex Ferguson ever do that? I mean, it's not as bad as Moyes' Liverpool are the favourites, but it's a little bit. I'm always going to err on the side of backing Mourinho, and I suspect that maybe there's an element of trying to play it down a little bit, but behind closed doors, he's got them pumped up. I don't know. I've got no leak from the Manchester United dressing room. Most, and those people who say that they do are liars. It is kept very, very in-house. But whether Mourinho does have them pumped up for this game or not, I don't know. But I personally would have liked to have seen Mourinho pumped up for this. I was disappointed with our reaction to the Chelsea thing. We were very quiet in that first half. And I think that's my concern with this, is that whether he's keeping it behind closed doors or not, we know from Crystal Palace and Chelsea and a lot of games this season that Manchester and Man City, big game that was, shouldn't need to pump the players up. Started slowly against Crystal Palace, started slowly against Chelsea. I think actually a different approach would have been useful today. I think actually this is a massive game. This is the biggest game in English football. This is history. This is Liverpool and Manchester United. This is pure passion, pure rivalry. The players will be up for it. I'm up for it. We want to win. Jurgen Klopp will be the same. Liverpool will be the same. It's head to head. Come on, get everybody up. But as a player, if you see your manager in the press conference, it's just another game. The rivalries, I never see rivalries as important. AC Milan when I was at Milan, Atletico Madrid when I was at Madrid, Arsenal or Spurs when I was at Chelsea. Well, I'm sorry, the fans do see it as important. There's part of me that actually, if Martial's injured, Fellaini's back, I'm terrified of our midfield. It really concerns me. We don't get the ball to our forwards quick enough. I have concerns about the way we're playing. The one thing I can say positive about Liverpool is, if we shut them down, we shut them down, but they have an identity and they have a way of playing. And, hands up, it is quick and it is entertaining. They know what they're going to do. They're going to come and do their game. They've been playing like it for the whole season. We don't have an identity. We have a very weak midfield. We don't get the ball quick enough to our forwards. I'm sure we can turn up tomorrow, and I'm expecting us to. But actually, when you look at it, Liverpool have an identity, we don't. So the one thing we can level this game up with is passion and rivalry. And I think we should stoke the fire, because it's our ground. It's Old Trafford. We need to make it intimidating. And as I've said so many times, the fans can't fake it. They can't fake it. They have to have a product in front of them, or an incident that fires them up. They'll be fired up for the first few minutes, but after 5 minutes, if we start slowly and just give up possession to Liverpool for half an hour like we did Chelsea, the crowd will drop, because they can't fake it. You've got to get them up, and that worried me. That worried me a little bit as to why Mourinho was a bit like that. Aqib Hussein, I've been watching the United stand for ages, and I can see the progress with Manchester United just from the United stand. All right, okay. Rashford is not good enough at the moment, missing so many sitters, says Doc H. I think with Rashford, it's really important that Marcus Rashford is off the bench, because if Martial's not there, our bench is a concern. I mean, we saw it. I would consider getting Tahith Chong on the bench, because if Martial's injured, Lukaku, Sanchez, Lingard start, the only fast player you've got is Rashford, because Mata, and then he had 3 defenders on the bench. I think the team news is going to be really interesting tomorrow, but if it's quite a negative bench, I think there's going to be a problem. One comment, come on United, says Jamie Hawkins. Yeah, you know what? The fans are up for this. The fans are up for this. I mean, I can't give you any guarantees. You can't give me any guarantees. Look, we've all tweeted stuff. We've all said stuff. We've all done videos. If we lose this game, I'm off out to me sisters tomorrow. She ain't got very good internet. I'm shutting down for a day. But in all fairness, I'll take it on the chin, because that's what football is. It's not, you've just got to take it, haven't you? But the players, we can't have another Man City. And I always say, when we do the watch along, we'll be live an hour before the kickoff tomorrow with the team news, and we'll be chatting away. I'll give you my score prediction now, but I always say there's a disclaimer to any score prediction I give, and that is if United turn up. Too many times this season the players haven't turned up. I felt the first 45 minutes against Chelsea we didn't turn up. Man City, massive game at home, we didn't turn up. We've got to turn up tomorrow, but I can't give you any guarantee that we will, because I thought we'd turn up against Man City. So, I'll give you my score prediction in a minute. But there was a really good comment from Mourinho that I really did like. And this is, I back Mourinho and I really did like this comment. He was asked about, obviously there was some negatives from the, great win against Palace, but there was some negatives, Jose. He was asked, he went, yes. And they said the first half and he went, yeah, but not just the first half. There were some negatives to put right from the second half. And they were like, what do you mean? And he was like, 2-2, we get ourselves back in the game. Brilliant chance for their striker, 6 yards out, not really marking him. De Gea pulls off a world-class save. They should score that, apart from the fact we've got a world-class keeper. If they score that, we ain't winning that game. That is a negative from the second half. So I liked that from Mourinho, because although he does punch a good fight and he is very defensive about his club and persona, he admitted something there that I think a lot of people came out of that Crystal Palace result elated, absolutely elated with the 3 points, a massive 3 points. But I think a lot of Manchester United fans also knew that, we made hard work of that and we were lucky. We were lucky. And Mourinho's clearly aware of that as well. Liverpool don't really have any threats from crossing. So Liverpool are going to have to get through us through pace and speed and speed of movement of the ball. I expect Mourinho to set us up well. I think my lack of confidence... Well, I wouldn't say lack of confidence. I would say my worry is... If you look at Spurs game... 2 defensive errors, Jones and Young. I think we set ourselves up well against Spurs, but you can't give any team a 2-goal lead. And I think Mourinho will set us up well. It's just whether he can eradicate individual errors, and that's not down to Mourinho, is it? It's Daley Blind's birthday, says Kato Ellis. Oh no, he says, what's happened to Blind? He's injured, mate. He's injured. Tomorrow might be a draw, but there's no Mourinho's going to give in. Says James Aguirre. Right, okay. Bum. Start chucking in your score predictions. Right, I've been thinking this through. Diraj says 2-0 to Manchester United. Mini Diver says Sanchez to score at any time. Look, Alexis Sanchez. I'm glad you said that, Mini Diver. I said this before the game against Crystal Palace that Alexis Sanchez needs to turn up. Mane, Firmino, Salah. Alexis Sanchez at his best is better than 2 of those players. Alexis Sanchez at his very best is on a par with Salah. That's not nonsensical conversation. That's a fact. Look at what Alexis Sanchez has done in the last few years in the Premier League for Arsenal. He is that sort of player. He's not doing it for Manchester United. I know why. It's because he's too close to Pogba and they're killing each other. But he needs to start turning up. And this is a big game for him. He needs to start turning up in this sort of a game. My score prediction for tomorrow. I think if you'd asked me this morning, I would have said 2-0 to Manchester United. If you're asking me now I know that Fellaini could start. Now I know that Martial's injured. I think it's going to be a really, really hard game to watch. I think it's going to be a hard game to watch. I think it's going to be tense. I think we will be on the back foot a lot. I think that will come down to we didn't sort our midfield problem out in January. We should have bought a midfielder. We're so weak in the midfield. I mean, we really are weak in the midfield. And I think that is, if we can't get hold of the midfield and Liverpool win the midfield battle, then their strength is their attack. So they're going to get lots of ball to the attack if they win the midfield battle. So I'm going to go 1-0 United, but I think it's going to be really hard to watch. I think we're going to be... I think it's going to be a hard game to watch. I hope Manchester United just roll up and we play absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to go 1-0 United. I was going to go 2-0 this morning, but with no Martial, I'm a bit worried. Early goal for United, then park the bus, says Whitron Guard. He's gone 1-0. Anthony Martial's gone 1-0. Philip Spatola's gone 4-2. I want what you're drinking, Philip. A Monika's gone 0-0. 0-0. Kieran Burns says guaranteed. Realistically, it's going to be a draw, says Eric Ross. Fellaini could get the winner though, says Samuel Art. Look, you know what I've got to say about Fellaini here. I'm not adamant that he doesn't play. I think a lot of people, and I want people to comment about that. I mean, everyone's saying draws or 2-1s here. Leon Ming says we'll win 100%. But a lot of people are saying draws and everything like that. Akash says 5-0 United. Fellaini or McTominay is not... Lynn Hall says 2-2. Fellaini or McTominay is not cut and dry. I've always said I'd rather McTominay play than Fellaini because McTominay can pass forward and he's quicker. But Fellaini brings a lot of experience. He's better in the air. He's more physical. But Liverpool move the ball around the ground very quick. And we've already got Matic who's quite slow. I just think Fellaini... I don't know. I don't know. I wish Ander Herrera was back. I think if Herrera had been fit, I would have probably said I would have been much more confident. But you might go Fellaini, you might go McTominay, but Fellaini will score the winner, says Mike Smith. I'd love Fellaini to score the winner. I think if Fellaini scored the winner in the Liverpool game, Mourinho would run off the pitch, get the contract, run on the pitch quickly, and say sign it now while everyone likes you, and that would be like the signature move. That's what'll happen. I think they're waiting for some positivity around Fellaini to announce the new contract, which I'm convinced he's going to sign. What I wanted to talk about next, let me just have a quick look. There's a few things. Ramifications of this result. Yes. The ramifications of this result then. If we lose, Liverpool will be a point ahead of us, but we'll be third. If we win, we'll be 5 points ahead of Liverpool. If we draw, we'll still be 2 points ahead of Liverpool. And I finished on the draw purposely because I do think as Mourinho tucks himself into bed tonight with his little cup of Horlicks and his Manchester United pyjamas on, he'll be thinking, with Fellaini on the back, he will be thinking, you know what, tomorrow night, if I'm tucked up in bed watching Match of the Day with a draw against Liverpool, I'll sleep well. I don't think Mourinho will be too bothered by a draw tomorrow. I'm sure, like all of us, he will want to win, but I think if it's a Russian roulette, if he's rubbing his lamp, not in his bed, if he's rubbing his lamp and the genie pops out and says, I can give you 2 wishes, I can give you a draw right now, or you can play Russian roulette. There's a bullet here, that's a win. There's 6 shots, one's a bullet. If you take the bullet, Liverpool win. If you pull the other 5, you've won it. I think Mourinho would go with the safe draw. I think he would. I think if there's a risk element to the win, I think he'd rather take the draw. Just take the point and move on. And that, for me, is what he was saying in the press conference by playing this rivalry down. Because ultimately, I've sort of talked myself through it. This is the great thing about a live show. We were speaking a few minutes ago about why Mourinho would say, there's no rival. I'm not bothered about the rivalry. It's not that special. It's just another game. Because actually, I think if he builds it up, it's massive. If we then lose, it's bigger on him, isn't it? Whereas if he says, well, it's just another game, and we do lose, it's a little bit less on him. For us as fans, it makes no difference. If we lose this game tomorrow, it's not lessened by the fact that Mourinho says it's not special. We will still bear the brunt of the Scouse army absolutely obliterating us, and rightly so, because it'll work the other way. So it's massive for us, the fans, but I do think that Mourinho would take a draw, and you know what? Taking the emotion out of it, taking the love of Manchester United out of it, if tomorrow night we've drawn and we're still 2 points ahead of Liverpool, last 3 games have been drawn, haven't they? 1-1 at our place last January, October at Anfield 0-0, and then the year before 0-0. So, Matthew McFadden, and I won't forget, James Wilson would relish these games like Rash, says Vincent Quentin. Thanks for the contribution. It's a draw at best, says Walid. Who to play, Young or Shaw, says Gareth. I think he'll play Young, but I would play Shaw. Exactly what I said in the comments. Scroll up and you will see. Raheem, if there is one player who knows how big a game this is, it is Rashford. Play him. He will turn up and give 100%. Says Screen Warrior. Yeah. You know what? If Martial had been fit, I said Martial will probably be on the bench tomorrow anyway, but obviously he's not. 2-0 United, come on, says Amar. And AM24, Liverpool to lose 4-0. Oh, right. Okay. Look, this is Manchester United versus Liverpool. We do it on the watch along. 1,000 likes and we'll win. Smash that like button on the preview. Let's get as much behind this game as we can. I'm looking for every little bit of superstition, positivity. And as I look at the subscriber number, 201,666 is not a 666 is not a number we want to see. In fact, it's just gone 665. That's fine. Subscribe, everybody. Get us past that 666. That's worrying. But do smash the like button. I want to get 1,000 likes. We want to be positive. We've got to be positive because the reality is we may as well be positive. We've got a big fight tomorrow. It's happening at half past midday. This time tomorrow, more or less this time tomorrow, 24 hours, we will know. So we've got to be positive because whatever the result is tomorrow, we will face it together. Right, okay. Smash the like button, says everybody. Let's get 1,000 likes while we're live. Well, we've never done that on a preview, but there's 1,000 people watching, so smash the like button. I'm just checking something out. Okay, it works. Right. Matthew McFadden is one of our moderators. He does a fantastic job, and I'm really proud about this for him, but also for the United Stand community as well. There's a link in the video description which will take you to Twitter. It says vote for Matt here. Manchester United official Twitter account have put 4 images up that they are going to use for the Manchester United versus Liverpool game officially as the Manchester United official images. There's 4 images, 4 finalists, one of which is Matthew McFadden. Please, 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 everybody who's watching, click the link in the video description, go to that Twitter page, scroll it down to the voting bit and vote at _Matthew, which is Matthew McFadden. Just vote for him. He's currently behind. Somebody else is winning. But if everyone on the United Stand who watches this video clicks that link in the video description and goes and votes for him, it takes, what, 2 or 3 seconds. Go and do it. Link in the video description. And then tomorrow we could have a United Stand moderator with the official image for Manchester United for the Manchester United versus Liverpool game. And I think his image is the best anyway. Vote at Matthew on the poll. The link in the video description. You'll see the images. Just roll it down to the last image and then you'll see where you can vote. Please get on there and vote. It will make a massive, massive difference if we can get Matthew to win that. I'm back at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm literally got a couple of bits to do. I'm off into town to meet the lads after work, and then I'm going to be back live at 8 o'clock. God knows what we'll talk about, but looking forward to it. A few drinks, the night before, nervous, have a few liveners and feel all right. But thanks everybody who's watched. We've nearly hit 500 likes. I want to smash 1,000 likes, so please smash that like button. I think if we can get 1,000 likes on this video by 5 PM, we're going to beat Liverpool tomorrow 1-0. If we don't, we're going to lose. And it's all on you lot. I've really enjoyed that preview show. The first few minutes, I like the Twitter stuff. If everyone likes the Twitter stuff as well, let us know. I really enjoy all that. There's some cracking stuff to have a laugh at. I really enjoy it. But thanks, Elliot Plays. We are, please, 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 hit the like button. But before you leave here, go to the video description, click the vote for Matthew link. That will take you to the Twitter page for the United. Scroll it down to the voting poll bit. There's 4 choices. Click the top one, which is at Matthew. That's Matthew McFadden. Let's get him winning. Let's get him winning this award, because that'd be another great thing for the United Stand. Thanks everyone for watching. Can't wait for this game tomorrow. I'll be back at 8 o'clock live with you. Vote, vote, vote for Matthew. Everyone's saying it's a good video. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So hit the like button on the way. And vote for Matthew on Twitter. And not just here, you know, tell everybody. If you've got people on Twitter that you know, DM them, tell them to vote, send them the link, retweet it. Let's get him voted. Woody Woo's done it. Shout out to you. Annie Honor's done it. Shout out to you. Thanks everyone. Speak to you all soon. 8 o'clock tonight. Vote, vote, vote for Matthew. 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 That's going to be #1 as well.